Good morning. What's up, everybody? Am I unmuted? Yes, looks like I'm unmuted. I got audio spikes. Yeah, I think we're good, right? You guys see me and hear me all right? Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. Good morning. My own Boontog. Magandang umaga. Good evening. Good afternoon. Yes, good morning. I am sleepy. You see my sleepy eyes? Joe and I were up. All right, Joe and I were up late watching a movie. I can't remember some Jake, Jake. What's his name? Can't remember. Some war movie. It's pretty good actually. I think I've seen it before. It's a nice thing about getting a little older is you can see movies over again. Like, oh yeah, I remember bits and pieces of that. But yeah, we were up late last night, so I'm still kind of sleepy. But we'll get there. Show must go on. Let's get to it here, guys. Yeah, real quick, I wanted to talk about. There was a conversation last week about channel memberships and around that. Um, it's something I've been looking at it, right? It's something I've been kind of thinking about and considering, but I'm really hesitant because I don't want to give off a vibe of yeah, I just don't want to give a bad vibe about it. But I am looking to just create something. It's like, look, if people want to support the channel, which is great, if people want to do that or get access to a little more behind the scenes kind of stuff, I'm going to give that to people. But just as that kind of thing. Right now, I don't see doing a big tier thing with channel memberships. I don't really want to make a super big deal out of it, but I think I would give people an avenue to support the channel if they choose to. I mean, that's just silly not to. And then also too, if people want kind of more of that behind the scenes kind of stuff, we can shoot, stuff like that. So just a heads up. I'm like I said, it's not going to be a super, big 3-tier kind of. I'm just going to have one membership level. It's going to be whatever, a couple bucks for people to kind of jump in if that was something they were looking to do and whatever, right? But let's get to it. We are here. We're live from the Philippines. It is Wednesday, the 11th. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's 77 degrees. I should have my windows open. It's actually, we were out wandering around last night, and it was a little bit cold, a little bit cool out. It can happen. It can happen. BJ, Benny, yes, man, fresh off the elevator. You've got the music going there. I had to do a recording as I was going up and down. But yeah, that's some footage from my ride back from Oslo. So it was when I was coming into Cebu. That'll be coming up, I think, on Friday's video. That footage will be coming out. So I'm really trying to add more and more motorcycle footage into my videos here because it is a big part of me and I feel a big part of this channel. I really want to incorporate riding stuff, and I've got a really cool GPS tool also that I want to start using that'll give like lots of interesting stats too: latitude, longitude, angle, rate of speed. So really excited about bringing that stuff in. Sandy Beaches, good morning. Counting the day until I'm there. Oh, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Tell me a little bit about your trip. It's a little bit slow this morning still. So tell me a little about your trip. Is it a scouting trip? Is this your first trip? Where are you heading off to? You coming here to Cebu? Yeah, good for you. That's always exciting. Always exciting, man. Good for you. Congratulations. Loud and clear. Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Yes. Joe is actually Joe's sleeping. She is sleeping. She got up. She was Chris. I can't do it. I have to go to sleep. I have to go back to sleep. She gives me that. I got to go back to sleep. So Joe is actually out. She's sleeping. So we'll see. I don't know for how long because my voice is deep and kind of carries. So hello from Odessa, Texas. Charles, how's it going, brother? Hope things are good there in Odessa. Yeah, beautiful. I've been to Texas a couple times. My boy lived in what was that area? Nacogdoches, I think it's called. So I spent a little bit of time going through Texas a little bit. And then, yeah, I've been to Texas a little bit. Living in Colorado for 20 years, there's a lot of Texans that come up to Colorado. So, yeah, I've heard of Odessa before. Or maybe that was Odessa, Florida. Yeah, anyways. Thanks for being here, Charles. John, good morning, good vibes. You know what, brother? You know what? Absolutely, man. The P just flew over my home on her way back. Okay, cool. So she's on her way back to the Philippines. Well, good for her. Good for her. I didn't watch really any of her. I haven't really watched much of her content since I got here. That kind of really changed for me once I landed here in the Philippines. I didn't really watch a lot of the bloggers that I used to when I lived in the States, just simply because I'm living here. I still watch a lot of YouTube, and I still watch some of the guys here. Every now and then I'll catch videos from everybody, but I don't really watch P just because I find her content more entertaining than informational. I mean, it's both, but yeah, good for her. I'm glad she's on her way back home and probably had a great time there in the States. So that's great. Yes, my own Boontog from Seattle. Let's go. Good morning, good evening there in Seattle. Hope everything's great there. I actually went to Seattle. I only went there once. I didn't spend a lot of time on the west coast of the States. I mean, I was born in California, but I only lived there a couple years. So, but yeah, my boy served in the Army and was stationed in Fort Lewis McChord, just south of Seattle there. So I went out and visited him and went to Seattle once and kind of toured around. But other than that, I hadn't spent a lot of time in Seattle. I know several people that I used to work with and things like that that were really interested in that climate, because Colorado is a really dry and arid climate, and so they were like, I got to get out to Seattle. I'm done with the dryness. So, anyways, yeah, beautiful area, beautiful city. So, I hope things are good there for you. The intro had me dancing for 3 minutes. I know, right? I'm in my chair over here doing the dance. Yeah, getting old, BJ. Benny, we like that elevator music, I guess. Oh man. Hey, so how you feeling? You feeling all right? I saw one in your comments that you kind of had a lingering bug from your trip here. So hope you're feeling better. Hope things are going back, going well back at work. All right, Sandy Beaches. Scouting trip to Cebu. Rent a bike and we go cruising. All right, man. Well, so you're coming to Cebu City, your first scouting trip, and so exciting, so exciting. Just to kind of set your expectations a little bit. If you probably already know, but whatever. Big city, right? 3 million people. If you take the whole area, right? You take Lapu-Lapu, you take Mindanao, you take Cebu. It's 3 million. Big, big city. Not quite your Newark or LA, that kind of deal. But it's still a big city. Get around by cab and stuff like that. Carry change, carry your small bills, try to carry hundreds, less 500s, 500 pesos and less 1,000 pesos. But yeah, man, so cool. So cool. And then, get around, like I said, taxis and stuff. Watch as you're walking around. The sidewalks are kind of all over the place and traffic is kind of all over the place. But yeah, so excited. Well, look me up when you get here, dude. Yeah, look me up for sure. If you're coming to Cebu City, we're in town. There might be some trips coming up. I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, we can do stuff last minute. We'll be here, and then today we're not. So it just kind of depends, and that's kind of the advantage too of living here and not having a work commitment. We have kind of really that freedom to kind of do and go wherever we want, and we just kind of watch the weather. And if the weather's looking good, and if we want to go somewhere, we'll just pick up and go. But yeah, we have no real plan. There's some things in the work. I don't know if you guys watch Chad Foster. Highly recommend his channel. He's a great guy. He's really talented at cinematography. But anyways, he and I were talking about maybe getting out to Negros and doing some riding in Negros in the next week or two. So that could be coming for me. I wanted to get out to to Bacolod to do the Mascara Festival. That's coming up in like 10 days. So, I don't know. A lot of up in the air. Some of the problems that I had, although I just kind of got it resolved, is when we went to Mobile, we did the canyoneering down in one of the falls, and unfortunately my phone took a dive, and I didn't realize this because I had the case on it, but it was cracked, so water had gotten in there, and it was pretty messed up, and it wasn't coming on. So I ordered a new iPhone, and that'll be here in the next couple weeks. But in the meantime, actually, I did go and get my phone repaired, so it's working now. But anyways, it puts a little bit of a hiccup in kind of my scheduling, as that phone gets here, and I may need to be here for that. But yeah, a lot of Texans. I've not seen very much of Texas. It's big. Yeah, it is. It's huge, right? Massive state. Yeah, I've been through, I think, in that Nacogdoches area, which is what kind of the southeastern part. But yeah, why you tripping? Ayo, what's up, poppin' boy? Ayo, what's poppin' boy, Joe? Huh? Yeah, I see. Only like the summers there. Yeah, yeah, the summers in Seattle. Yeah, get a lot of rain, get a lot of misting kind of, rain. Really different than Colorado. We get a lot of rain here too. Really humid here. But again, weather's been a non-factor for me. But here's the thing that's really interesting that I'm discovering as I'm meeting people who have been and live in different regions of the Philippines. The weather is really different depending on where you're at. And it makes sense, right? I mean, you're talking about an area that spans from what, Detroit to Daytona. So the weather's going to be different, in that range. And here in Cebu, even during this rainy season that we're really supposedly in, I don't feel like it's not like it might rain I wouldn't even say it rains every day. It's just, you know, the rain has been a non-issue. It's really wild, as I'm going into my first year here and just being observant of the weather. I kind of like this time of year simply because it's a little bit cloudier and it's not as hot as like, their summer, which is March, April, May, or April, May, June. Yeah, March, April, May is their summer. So, yeah, really interesting. And then, like I was saying too, Joe was telling me, he says, Chris, this time of year in Leyte, it's pretty much rainy every day, and here in Cebu City, it's not. I mean, we'll get our storms, we'll get rain, but it's come and gone. It maybe what 30 minutes or so, and then it clears up. So yeah, really interesting as I'm discovering the seasons in the weather here. I've not even seen the east side of Texas, but I've only been there 69 years. Charles, I get it, man. I lived in Colorado for over 20, and it wasn't until the last probably 4 or 5 years when I got into motorcycling that I did a lot of touring around Colorado. I just wasn't a big skier, and so I didn't really go up to the mountains for much. But then when I got into motorcycling, I toured all over the Rockies on motorcycles. So trust me, I get it, man. We get stuck in our little routines and bubbles, don't we? That's why moving out here for some of us is practically a miracle, given how we kind of get ourselves in those types of situations. Which that's why I feel Cebu City, the business park here where I'm at, IT Park, those are those good areas where we can still be in those bubbles and live here really easily, right? Really cool, Charles. Yeah, the one. Hey, Chris, fan here, and thanks for being the way you are, and not like the others. Cool, man. Appreciate that. Question: I've seen you with hydration pack. Do you recommend it? If you recommend to have it on you? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I run Camel Pack, and I would, you can get them here in the mall. Yeah, you can get them here, or you can. I brought them with me, and I actually shipped them in the boxes. But yes, I recommend the hydration pack, and I like Camel Pack. I think they work well. There's a dive shop here in Ayala Mall. I can't remember the name of it. It's on the third floor right above the arcade. Really great shop, and they have Camel Packs here, or like you can just bring your own. But yes, highly recommend a hydration pack for motorcycling. It's just great, and just even if you're out walking, it gives you that extra space. You can put your umbrella. You put a lot, your wipes, your umbrella. For me too, when I first got here to Cebu, and I walked for hours and hours, and that was really a saver for me. Actually, I had bought one because I had packed those packs in my boxes, which weren't here yet. So I went ahead and bought one when I got here and used that while I was walking around. Yeah, highly recommend it. Yeah, they're really convenient for this area. Dave, hey, is there a condo in Cebu with a good gym in it, or even a cheap apartment? Just want to be near a gym, just maybe for a month. Yeah, Dave, you can look around on Airbnb and put that criterion for gym. I mean, Solina has got a decent gym. It's all right. I mean, it's really not the best gym, but it's okay. But yeah, I mean, you should be able. I would look in Airbnb and look at the criteria, and then see if you can get photos. There was a place I looked at in IT Park, I cannot remember the name of the condo, but it kind of had that wavy outside kind of look to it with how it's structured. Really phenomenal gem. I know that's not much of a help, but you might be able to distinguish that by what I'm talking. They have the porches outside. If they show exterior pictures, you'll know what I mean immediately. But that's what I would do, Dave. Just go to Airbnb and then put in your criteria for gym, and then check out the photos. It's a hit or miss. Like the gym here is whatever. It's also too really of a pain to get into. And I don't know, Dave, if where I'm at they do any kind of short-term stuff like that. They might do long-term only. Yes, Morton. Hey, brother. Good morning from DK. Sounds good with the motorcycle videos. Did you see the Royal Enfield links I sent you? Yes, I did. And I was thinking about you too. So if you subscribe to the Royal Enfield YouTube channel, they just did a whole new Himalayan video. It's maybe about a week now, not quite. But changes are coming, man. Changes are coming. So it'll be great to see those new bikes that are on their way. I'm really excited about that. I've got my eye. I'll probably get a bike next year, either the Himalayan 450 if it's such a bike, but it looks like it will be, or the Honda CB500X. So either one of those two bikes will probably be what I get next. Just I want something that's a little more off-road capable. Not that I need super off-road, you really don't here, but you encounter some, like when we were driving over from Mobile, or when we were going to Osmeña Peak, we encountered this road, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it was so steep. My buddy Scott, who was in a rental car, he couldn't go up it in the car. He had to back up it. It was that steep, and it wasn't paved yet. They were working on it. So there are sections of road that you'll encounter that are, pretty treacherous, real steep and stuff, and then unpaved like we did. And I feel just something a little more off-road capable, like an adventure bike, would just be really phenomenal here. But you could do that in a scooter too. You can do like the Honda ADV 160. That would get you anywhere as well. I'm not a scooter guy. I like the rear brake and clutch and stuff like that. But yeah, no, man, I'm really, really excited about next year and the bikes that are coming out, as well as, how that's going to impact me and the channel and just kind of riding around. I really envision riding around a lot of the Philippines. Like I said, we got Chad and I are looking to ride around Negros here in the next couple weeks. So yeah, really excited about that aspect of what I see in the next year. So really cool. I'm slightly stuffy up, but thankful sinus pressure is gone. Okay, cool. Yeah, feeling better. Get a little bit of a bug back. It's probably a little bit of a depression from being back in the West. I can only imagine. I remember when I did my scouting trip and I got home. I mean, it was like, so my trip was in September. I got home, I think, right after Labor Day, and by the end of October, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I gave my notice. Yeah, it was great. Sandy beaches. Maybe I'll find a host to show me around. Yeah, dude, if you're coming to Cebu, look me up. And if definitely look me up. I'd love to get together. We meet people all the time, all the time, all the time. Almost not quite every day, but when we're here in Cebu, we meet people often. Joe and I both. Yes, good morning from Utah. Need to be back home in the Philippines. All right, man. Utah, yeah, it's beautiful out there. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, I went to, so the firm I worked for, we had an office in Salt Lake City, and I've been to Salt Lake City several times. Yeah, Utah's a great state, beautiful out there. Yeah, but yeah, I bet you're excited to come back here. Where's home for you in the Philippines? Yeah, what province or what area are you from? Dave, I want to sell most of my stuff from storage unit in Mandaue and also explore Cebu Island pretty soon. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You check it out. Like I said, Airbnb, I think would be your best bet, Dave, on that to find exactly what you're looking for. You can put in the criteria as far as gym and, filter and stuff like that. Yeah, I got a storage locker too. I went to a place called Storage Town. It's a chain. They've got a couple of them. The one I went to is just below Horizon, and rented a storage locker for a year, just because we're in a studio and space is really critical. and I think it cost me, I want to say just over 12,000 pesos for the year. So just over like 1,000 a month. What's that? Yeah, it's like what, $20 a month, I think, for a storage. So yeah, I hear you. Mike, hello, beautiful, amazing, classy Joe. Hello, bald guy. I'm betting you start to think I have no life because I'm always giving you crap. Yeah, you're fine, Mike. And Joe's over here. She's sleeping, man. I know you could. I still have sleepy eyes a little bit, but we were up late. We were watching a movie, so Joe's over here sleeping. But yeah, no worries, Mike. Hope you're good there, brother. Too funny. Yeah, she's out. She's out. She's sleeping. Yeah, Benny, thanks. Glad you guys are feeling better as well. Yeah, man, that was no fun. So Joe had caught a bug. She was sick before we left. Man, I was on the fence about even going because I was like, man, I'm going to catch this bug. I'm going to be sick the whole time. It's just going to be horrible. But we had invited our buddy to come along with us, Scott. And, we had paid for the rooms and everything. So I was like, if we cancel, he's going to be out too. And so we just went ahead and went. And in hindsight, if it was just Joe and I would have canceled the trip, honestly. Because sure enough, we left on Thursday. We got there on Friday was our first, or did we leave on Friday? I can't remember, but within 24 hours, I started getting sick. So, but it happens. It just meant that I didn't do I didn't do the whale sharks just because I was so congested and stuffy that putting a mask on really kind of made it worse. But whatever, we made the best of it. We had some fun. But yeah, we're all feeling better now. I think I got the worst of it. But Joe was better about 4 days after. I was better about 4. I was better as soon as we got home. But it happens, man. There's a lot of bugs flying around here. There's also, I think, pink eye that's going around here, which is really interesting. And they call it peace cat. Anyways, yes. Morning, Chris. I'm curious, is there a way to get around Cebu just using mobile payments and no cash? Is there a way to get around Cebu without cash? Yeah, but I don't. So you would use what do you call that? Grab. You would use Grab, or I think it's called Anchus. You'd need to install apps on your phone like an Uber. But the problem with that is you're going to need a Philippines phone number to do those. But you could use Grab. Grab would be the way that you could travel around without cash. Yeah. And then I think hold on. I have the app installed, but I never use it. Yeah, Anchus, A-N-K. Wait, I'm sorry. A-N-G-K-A-S. It's a scooter that can get you around Cebu also. But Cebu City and Grab too. Outside of Cebu City, you're not going to be able to use those services. But in Cebu City, you could use Grab and Anchus to get you around. But it is mostly a cash society. It really is. I don't use my cards hardly at all. Hardly at all. Maybe I mean, you can use them for groceries. Some restaurants will take it, but most everywhere you'll want cash. And the cabs don't take cards. I don't even think they take GCash. GCash might be another. Yeah, GCash would be another electronic option, but not for transportation. But GCash would be a way also too that you could pay for stuff without using cash. But again, you'll need a Philippines phone number for that to work. So you have some options, but a lot of those rely on that Philippines phone number. Sandy Beaches. I've been watching yours and Gio's amazing Philippines, everybody's videos, and I've gotten notes. I'm ready and waiting. That's great for you, man. Yeah, it's so cool, dude. It's really excited. It's really exciting. Like I said, I remember my first scout. So I had planned to go during the pandemic. I had a ticket bought and paid for and everything, and then it got canceled. So this was, I think it was November, because there was some chat and talk about maybe things opening up. So I had booked my flight. Actually, I booked 3 different flights. I booked my flight, I think it was March, right before the pandemic, and I got canceled. And then I booked again. Actually, it was April. We're looking to go in April, and the pandemic hit, and I couldn't. It was whatever year that was, 2019, I think, right? But whatever. So the April before the pandemic, and then I rebooked that later for that November, and that still didn't go through. So then I ended up going My scouting trip was a year ago, and when I went, it was early on. Like things had been open up, I think, for 6 months or so. But you needed a vaccine card to get in here. No one was asking for a vaccine card then when I got here, like to do stuff. But definitely with masks and stuff like that when I was here. Now all that stuff's gone now. There's no conversation of even COVID around, really, hardly at all anywhere. And I think pretty much everywhere now, maybe in some stores, like some service people are still wearing masks, but you don't really see them much beyond that. So, but yeah, it's fun times coming out for sure. I just picked up a new S23 Ultra. Amazing camera. Huh. What is, I haven't heard of that camera. Who makes that? Hold on, I'm just looking really quick. S23 Ultra. Oh, that's a okay, from your phone. Okay, good. Yeah. I just ordered, so with my phone taking a float and swim and not coming back on, I actually pre-ordered the iPhone 15 and I pick it up in a couple weeks. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see the footage on that. Hopefully it's well. But this phone, so this is the 13, and it's been great. So I do phone every 2 years. So yeah, I'm due for a phone now. So this phone's been great. I think the cameras on here are a fan. But yeah, S23 Ultra, I bet some amazing footage on that. I shoot a little bit now, more and more with my iPhone than I did before, especially in like low light, because this camera, my X3 that I shoot with mostly, this camera does not do well in low light just because the sensor size is so small. But everywhere else I like it. Even indoors, like in the mall, I have to adjust my settings on that to kind of get footage. But yeah, and then I'll shoot with the iPhone. But yeah, really, I'm a big fan of the camera phones. They do great. They really shoot well. And then I have actually I have my Fujifilm that I don't really shoot with much at all, just because I feel the iPhone shoots well, and then it's also too a little bit of a pain to kind of pack. At least your phone had the correct time. Yeah, right. Yeah, it does pretty well, right? Because they go off the cell service. Hmm. I'm cool with memberships, and I know how you're not trying to make it a strictly business, which I respect. I was turned off by a Filipina who did that when she got monetized. Attitude seemed to change too. Yeah, man. I don't look. This has been, me too, brother. We've hung out. This is fun for me. I really want to. I mean, granted, a couple bucks would be great. I'm not gonna lie with that. That'd be cool. Cover my costs and a lot of the stuff that I pay to do this channel, and the travel stuff. But whatever, man. I'm not. I really what I really I love about this channel, Benny, is exactly what happened with us. Is we met, we did some trips, we hung out. That was awesome, man. I love the social side of this, meeting the people in person and helping people come here and check it out. That's kind of what I'm up to. And then people have asked too about, hey, why don't you create a membership and stuff? And I've been just on the fence about it because I like you said, I didn't want to come across as it's something that people needed to do, but if they wanted to contribute, I wanted to give. I mean, it's silly for me not to give that avenue, and then just kind of think of ways, because I wanted to make sure that I could bring value to that. So yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit, and just going to start something real small, offer some behind the scenes stuff that I can maybe shoot, with the phone, and just say, hey, look, yeah, this is what we're up to. We're kind of doing this and that. So I don't know. I'm still hesitant. But yeah, I think that'll be coming down probably by the end of this week and into the next live. There'll probably be just a membership of some sort out there. But whatever. No, appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you saying that and pointing that out. Mike, yes, good morning. Best place to find a good girlfriend. Oh, Mike and Janet. I was worried about you guys because I saw the bike in there. And then, for those of you who don't know, I mean, this is Mike, right? Mike's Philippines Retirement, Mike and Janet. So we're becoming really good friends as they're neighbors, and we both, have similar stuff. Obviously, we both do YouTube. And we share a parking spot, to help out on the cost. So I saw Mike's bike and I was worried because it just got done pouring. It was rainy and we thought you were standing over there because of you had the umbrella and the rain jacket kind of drying out. But yeah, glad you're here, brother. We'll see you. We'll see you here in a little bit this afternoon. But yes, best place to find a girlfriend, Mike's wants to know. Yeah, where is the best place to find a girlfriend? They say the best place to find a girlfriend is just to be introduced by somebody and I agree with that. I think that goes globally. If you could be introduced to somebody, then both people kind of know each other. But outside of that, I feel it's such a hard question because I know the malls are really a common place for people to go, and you got to be careful about that kind of scenario, especially here. Just that either one of the Aiello malls, I feel probably are not your best place to go, just because it's so saturated with people kind of already doing that. Sorry, I just realized my laptop isn't powered on here. Anyways, yeah, I would not go to either one of the Aiello malls, but yeah, in-person parks, if you could do that, just maybe at a coffee shop if you're hanging out, you got to be really careful about your approach. You can't be hard on your approach. You have to be really casual and easygoing in that approach. So, but yeah, I would feel those are the best avenues to meet your Filipina. Sorry about that, gentlemen. I realize that I am not plugged in power, and I'm going to lose power here, so I'm a wee bit distracted. Let me shift gears here and see if I can get power going on my laptop. All right, there we go. I think I got it now. All right, cool. Yes, Mike. Well, yeah, we'll see you here in a little bit. See you soon. Yes, I bet, Benny. So Benny did his scouting trip. He's on a couple now. Just checking it out, getting a feel for the land, seeing how it is, and then looking to do the big move here soon. So yeah, good for you, brother. Congratulations. Really, it's exciting. And I mean guys like Benny and you guys too all the time. Guys who are looking to make the move. I met another younger kid, whatever, and I would assume he's in his late 30s or so, just making the move out. He's looking to do some work too out here with some online stuff. So yeah, it's just so exciting, and it is. It's really really cool. Love it. Gamer, what's up, man? Good morning. Mayong buntag. Magandang umaga. Hope you're good there, man. Hope all is well. How does Scott like driving in the Philippines? Yeah, great question, Benny. So he rented a car. Um, he got his ticket. So guys, look, I think this is unique to Cebu. And I don't know about Manila or that, but the enforcement, the traffic enforcement here is very strict in Cebu City. I mean, like very strict. I've gotten a ticket. I've gotten pulled over twice. So you got to be really careful here in Cebu City. Now, once you get out of the city, I don't think it's nearly as severe as what it is here. But here, look, it's not bad, right? You get a ticket, you go pay the fine, and that kind of deal. So it's not it's not life threatening, obviously, but and then there's just you got to be careful around that scenario with the ticket. If yeah, there's just go pay the ticket at the office and that kind of thing. But yeah, he says driving in the city is a nightmare. He said it's definitely scary. And I think as Westerners are just not used to main thing, unless you live in California, you're not used to motorcycles all around you, and a lot of them, you'll be driving in the road and you'll have, scooters and bikes all on all sides of you. And so it really is more of this, I think this dance is how I would describe it, with everything on the road, including dogs and you just got to roll. And you can't have like this Western vibrato kind of attitude. People use their horn, but it's more for like a communication deal, like honk, I'm here, and honk honk, I'm, that kind of deal. It's not an aggressive type of horn use at all. There's not an aggressive type of driving. There is an aggressive type of driving, but it's different, right? It's more of a get there. Whoever gets there first, I think, is what it was, kind of told to me, which makes sense. Is but then you're there, and you don't flip off your neighbor, kind of deal, like we do in the West with all the road rage. But yeah, it's a different, but it's not impossible. I think, as far as driving here for people, what I would tell people to do is just get around first. Spend a couple months, walk around. get a lay of the road, take your cabs and stuff, and look at it from that perspective. And then it's not impossible. Outside the city, it's a lot easier. But even then you've got your own set of obstacles outside the city. You've got animals and dogs and chickens, just all kinds of stuff darting across the street. Thankfully, the speeds are so much slower, though. I mean, guys, I hardly get above 40 miles an hour. I mean, hardly ever. Most of my time I'm traveling like 25, 30 miles an hour. So thankfully, the speeds are slower, but you do have a lot more going on the road than you would in the West. Mainly with dogs too, and the dogs will sleep right on the road and they won't move. So and then drinking and stuff like that, you've got people who would be on the road that probably shouldn't be, that kind of deal. So but yeah, he doesn't mind it so much in the city or out of the city, but in the city he's not so much a fan. But he's also glad too, he said, that it's a skill that he's working on, that he doesn't want to, he wants to drive so he can kind of maintain that skill. Get the Himalayan and or ADV off-road or semi-off-road opens up another world to see that. Yep, I agree, man. And that's exactly what I'm doing, Morton, is I'm going to probably either get the Himalayan 450 if that indeed comes out. I think they said November 7th. So if that bike comes out November 7th and available, I might get that next year, or that CBX 500 or the CB 500X. I also feel that's a really great machine. It's a little boring. I feel the Royal Enfield 450 Himalayan would do a lot for the channel. And I would love that bike, especially if it's a lighter weight machine. I'm really excited about that bike. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, my pleasure. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here. So yeah, thanks for being here. I heard the Taos Temple requires visitors to wear a mask. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. Where is that, Benny? Let me look. Yeah, I haven't heard of that before. Taoist Temple. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, dude. I have not heard of that. I'll have to go. That looks pretty fascinating too. Okay. Yeah, Chinese community after 1972. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'll have to check that out, brother. I'll check it out. Yeah, thanks. Philip, did you get your iPhone, the Pro Titanium, Chris? The phone looks impressive. I did. I went with a 256 gig Max Pro Max Titanium. So it'll get here, I think 2 weeks from today is when 2 weeks from today. Yeah, I'm excited actually. I was due for a new phone. That's why I wasn't so worried about this phone taking a dive, although I wanted to give it to Joe because she's running the iPhone 8, and this camera for her would be a huge upgrade. So we were disappointed in that sense because that, this would be a really big phone for her, the 13. And so yeah, I went ahead and got it fixed. And then I was, like I said, I was planning on upgrading because I'm on a 2-year cycle with phones. And yeah, I agree. I think the phone's going to be great. I've heard some issues on overheating, but I'm sure they can address that with firmware. Yeah, my storage is in storage on a Medallia. Yeah. Just wondering what mic you use with your X3. So I'm using DJI. I use the DJI mics. I have a Lav. This is basically I use also for my lives. I love these mics, man. They're just so great. I have the dual mic setup. Comes in this nice little case. And yeah, big fan of DJI. Rode is also, phenomenal as well. But yeah, DJI mics is what I use with a Rode Lav. And I think you have to with the X3. The internal audio is just garbage. It's no good. And everyone will tell you, the most important thing with YouTube is good audio. It's more important than video. You can have bad video or shaky video, but if your audio is bad, you're toast. So I went ahead and went with mics and have learned to just run with it. I like it. It does add a little bit of post work to kind of match up your audio file with the video. And with two mics, it's a nightmare for me. I really struggle with lining up the two mics, but it's worth it. I'm a big fan of the mics. And with these, what you could do with the DJI mics is they have an internal recording. So I don't try to sync up wirelessly on my camera. I actually just use the external. I use the recording that's on the file for my videos. So yeah, that's how I do it. Sandy, when I do my scouting trip, I'll be staying at the Quest Hotel in the business park. Dude, you're right across the street. I'm even excited my stay. Yeah, dude, let me know when you're here, brother. Let me know. Let's get together. So I did a video a while back. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Cebu Business Park area. Watch that video. It's going to show you where everything's at in this neighborhood, and I show you where the Quest is at and all that. The thing you want to look at, Sandy, when you so when you leave the Quest Hotel, go to the right and just walk down a little bit till you get to that light, and then you can really safely cross the street to get to Ayala Mall. So when you leave the hotel, go to the right. You're gonna see the Ayala Mall right when you exit out, but it's across the road, and don't try to cross there. That's a crazy place to cross. Just go down to the right a little bit. You'll see there'll be a street light down there. Cross at that street light, and then you'll go down. You'll see the Starbucks and stuff like that. But brother, let me know when you're here. You're gonna be right across the street from me, man. Yeah, it'd be fun to connect, and we can chat if you want, if you got time. I need some info regarding registration of a used bike from Manila and Cebu. Is it okay that I write you? Yeah, man. Yeah, no, appreciate it, dude. So registration on a used bike is so much easier than a new one, first of all. And that was my strategy too. I bought actually a used scooter so that way I could ride immediately. And then while I was waiting for my other bike to get registered, because my other bike took like 2 months. I mean, no kidding. I think it could be a lot quicker now though. There were in between registration process changes where it's online now. But yeah, it took like 2 months to get my new bike registered, and it still takes a month. And in that time, you can't ride, right? You can't ride your bike. It's got to be registered before you can ride it. Especially as we're talking about it, you get pulled over left and right here in Cebu City. So other areas that might be different, but here in Cebu City, there's traffic enforcers freaking everywhere. So you have to be really careful. But with a used bike, as long as that bike is registered already with the LTO office, you're good. You just want to make sure you get all the excuse me, you get all the paperwork with it. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, a little bit different with a used bike. It should be a lot easier with that. Like I said, as long as you got all the paperwork with it. But yeah, reach out, brother. Absolutely. I live in, where's that at? Let's check that out. We got time. Google Maps. Let's see what we have here. Navali. What? Oh, Nuvali. Okay, near Tagaytay. I think I know where that's at, right? Oh, no, Laguna. Santa Rosa Laguna. Okay, yeah, I see you there. I see you. Ah, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a great area. Looks cool. Laguna Bay. It would spook me a little bit living so close to that volcano, but yeah, looks nice. The one question: how much do I need for 3 weeks vacation over there, and what do you recommend? Thanks for the info. All right. Yeah, interesting question, right? How much do you need for 3 weeks? Ooh. So let's run through it. That's a hard question to answer, but let's look at it. So I'm gonna say for food, you're gonna at least want 1,000 pesos a day. And that's eating well. But you can also go over that, right? So let's just say 1,000 pesos a day times 21. So that's 21,000. Let's see here. Note. 1 second here. Yeah, it's 21,000 for that. It's going to be hard here. All right, there we go. How much for 3 weeks? 21,000 food. Accommodations, you're going to look at, for your average place. what, 40 US? How much is the Quest? I don't know how much the Quest is. Let's just say we'll be relatively conservative. We'll say like 40 US for your hotel a day. So what's 40 US? And then 1 second here. We're going to run through this. It's a great question. It's going to take a little bit though, but we got time. We got time. 40 US. So that's, yeah, I would say 2,500 pesos a day. So we'll do that. 2,500, 2,500 times 21 equals 52,000 pesos in in accommodations. 1, 2, 3, and what else? Let's just say transportation. So you're gonna need, let's just say what, 4,000 or 200. We'll say 500 a day, and that's high. 500 a day for transportation, that's high. Let's say 400 a day for transportation. So 400 times 21 equals 8,000. 8,000. We'll say 8,500. So we got housing, we got food. How about entertainment? What do you want for entertainment? Let's say 500 pesos a day for entertainment. 500 times 21. That's 10,000 pesos for entertainment. All right, where are we at there? So we got 10,500 plus 8,500 plus 52,000 plus 21,000. That's 92,000. Let's just say 100,000 pesos. So that's just under 2,000, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, 100,000 pesos. Yeah, it's like 1,700 US. So I would just say 2,000, and that's, yeah, 2,000 US. Yeah, but that's pretty, yeah, I'd say 2,000 US for 3 weeks, and that's not a lot, right? It's pretty cheap. Yeah, pretty wild. And that's the basics, right? I don't think I covered everything. Maybe your travel insurance you might want to add. Yeah, great question, the one. I hope that helped. I said hello to Joe and Mike on the live yesterday. I think it was, so I'm guessing she got her dose, and she's out. Normally she's not asleep like a. We're both up very early in the morning, Mike. Both of us are. But we were up to like midnight last night, which is late for us. Usually we're out. We're asleep by 10. But we were up both late watching a movie last night. She's sleeping still. How many bikes can you fit in your parking spot? The sound. That sounds like a good way to make a few extra bucks there. I can have 3 bikes in my spot. I was already told because I had 3. I had my scooter, I had my Royal Enfield, and then Mike has his bike. So I had 3 in there, and they're like, you can't have any more. But I actually sold the scooter. So, but yeah, I think what I'll do. So I'm just gonna have one more bike. I'll have the CB500X or the Royal Enfield 450, depending on what comes available and really what I can get. So yeah, I'll just have one other bike, and then actually probably what I'll do is try to sell that Royal Enfield, which might be hard to do because it's a little more expensive bike than what's normal around here. But yeah, they say if you're able to survive and drive through the circle of Fuentes, you can drive anywhere in the Philippines. Yeah. So what he's talking about, there's a circle, the Fuentes circle there, and the road is, kind of diving in and out. Honestly, I don't, it's a little intimidating at first, but the speeds are so slow. And honestly, I feel the drivers are pretty good here. And the motorcyclists, hands down are some of the best motorcyclists on the planet. I mean, these guys have been riding since they were kids. They're practically born on bikes, These guys are phenomenal on the road, So, but yes, Fuentes Circle, lots of traffic, big circle going around. I've been on it a couple times now, Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. Hey, David, how's it going, man? We are now finding so many new expats to Comodos Island. They all seem to want a more simple way of life now. Yeah. So shout out to you, Dave. So these guys, they have DJ resorts there in Comodos Island. Look them up. Great place to stay. Really, really great place to stay. Right on the beach. He's got, a couple really cool little cabins there. prime location on the west side of the island. So you got great sunsets. I've done a bunch of videos from there. Huge fan of Komodos. I really, really love Komodos Island. That is a place I could see myself living. I say hey to Juvie. Hope she's good. Say hey to Jack. Hope he's great. Say hey to Tux and Yoda. And yeah, Bree. Yeah, I hope you're good there, David. Yeah, looking forward to being out there soon, brother. Yeah, and you know these guys, they've got a good setup there. Really great resort right on the beach. Like I said, great location and just good people and friendly. You have breakfast with David there. You know, he'll chat your ear off about all the stuff. He's really chatty and just a great guy. So hey, thanks for being here, man. Avi, hey man, how are you? Avi, best place to find a girlfriend. I found my now wife, who was a waitress at my hotel I stayed at. I think finding one who has a job, yep, is good. Yeah, sweetest thing ever. Hey, Avi, good for you, brother. Yeah, I hope you're good there. Let me know when you're coming back. Be fun to reconnect if you got time. I know you're busy there, working man. But yeah, good for you. Thanks for being here, man. Ted, Cebu Province. How far behind am I? 739. Yeah, sorry, I got way behind on the budget. Cebu Province, East Coast near a beach where we're driving. Okay, driving is consistent. Improvisation. Yep. Everyone looks at everyone to see who's first. Yeah, right. Very busy, but prefer driving over trikes or buses. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, great, Ted. And you're right. The who's first mentality is kind of what I've heard a lot too, as far as the driving nature. And it makes sense. It really does. You get to an intersection, you're there, you go. You know, yeah. I actually really like the driving here. Yeah. I don't find it chaotic at all now that I'm aware of it, right? And kind of see it, especially as a motorcyclist in the United States. I love the fact that I can move with the traffic wherever there's gaps and stuff, and I don't have to sit in a blazing hot intersection and get rear-ended by another vehicle. I can move where I need to go to kind of get out of the way and keep going. So I really actually love it as a motorcyclist and getting around. But yeah, good stuff, Ted. When I arrive on my one-way trip to the Philippines in February 11th, which is right when they opened the tours. Oh, for COVID, yeah, when they opened it up, I got my first stamp in 2 years. Yeah, was first off at 4:45. Yeah, that's really cool. So you came in early right after things opened. Yeah, that was wild, man. Yeah, I got here pretty early. Not super. So I got here late August. So they'd been open for a little bit now, but not a lot. And you could tell it's different now than when I got here. You know, they had that foreigner vibe where you're like, oh wow, the foreigners are starting to come back, kind of thing. So yeah, it was pretty wild being kind of early on. Hmm. All right. Hey, I saw you eating rice and egg mixed together on your video. How many times do you do that back in the United States? Never, Mike. Yeah, and it's a common breakfast for me, actually. I eat that really often. I like get a couple of fried eggs and it's steamed rice and usually some ham or some bacon I like to mix in there too. But yeah, I eat that a lot and I love it. I really am a big fan of that breakfast. I like it a lot. But yeah, never had it before until getting here. So true. So true. This temple is located inside Beverly Hills, Cebu. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll have my buddy John maybe heard before. We were looking at some condos just outside of there to maybe move to. So yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Appreciate that. I meant to add in 2022. Yeah, no worries, no worries. We'll get caught back up here a little bit. 742. Yeah, not too bad. There are a few attractive Filipino YouTubers in Cebu who are offering to give new expats a tour of the city for free. Okay, cool. Seems like one step below. Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. That's so interesting. Yeah, right. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know who those are. I think I might know actually. I've seen a little bit of that. Yeah, too wild, man. Too wild. Ghost Temple is in like okay. Yeah, I think there might be a couple of them even too. Yeah, I was seeing on the map there might be a couple. Dave. I think more expats want to live far from the city, but still want to get close so they can get the things they need. And that's what David, you're absolutely right, right? I think that's what's so phenomenal about Comodos is you can really get that remote experience of the Philippines, these really secluded beaches where you're by yourself, that foreigner experience where there's not a lot of foreigners there and you have locals who interact with you differently. I think that is one of the magical things about Comodos and its proximity to Cebu. I mean, it's close. It's close. And especially as they get that fast craft back from Cebu to Comodos, I really see that'll open up things as well. Like if you can, as a foreigner, if you could get there, if you can go down to Cebu and get a fast craft from there and be there in a couple hours, I mean, it's a great island. I love that little island. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Maybe a couple more eateries. Yeah. But I think those will open up as more people come there. But that island, as you know, it's just going to grow and continue to grow. It's by far my favorite place right now. I would, without a doubt. I love it, love it. Hey Joe, when you wake up, I heard Chris say you can order a new iPhone on his card. Where were we at, Mike? Yeah, or we're on Mike and Janet's live on Monday, and Joe pointed out, she was like, "Hey, yeah, have Chris take you shopping." We actually went shopping at the 138 mall. We need to go through that footage. There's so much footage that I haven't even posted. Either I don't know if the vibe's not right, if the mood isn't quite there. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to post that. But yeah, we've done some shopping stuff for Joe because she actually didn't bring a lot with her, right? So she's got a limited wardrobe. But we're on a little bit of a budget too with kind of what we got going on here. But anyways, yeah, we need to kind of get that out. We need to do a shopping video because it is fun. Glenn, what's the one thing you think that the Philippines does better than the US when it comes to everyday living in your average expat cities? What is the one thing that you think the Philippines does better? Comes to average everyday living. Yeah, the US does a lot of things better with the infrastructure, obviously, with transportation and things like that. But gosh, what's there for me immediately, Glenn, when I'm comparing the two and what it's like to live here versus there, it just honestly, it's just the people and the friendliness of the people. That's what really stands out for me is just how I just love being here in that regard. As far as what does the Philippines do better, I can't think. Yeah, I mean, for a big city, you really don't have good transportation options here to get around, but it's all right with the cabs and stuff. Yeah, that's a hard question to answer, Glenn. But why are we here? Why we look to come here? The friendliness of the people, our dating options, and things like that. I mean, you can't even compete with that anywhere, right, in the West. It's on a completely different level. You have so many options here for dating and finding a partner in life. It's nothing like we have. So there's that, and then just really for me in particular, it was financial freedom at the age of 52. I can't do that in the West, but as far as what this country does better than the West, it's like infrastructure is not even on the same level, but it's not even a factor, right? As we're talking about Comodos and going to these remote serene islands, I mean, it's almost a benefit that you don't have that modern way of living. You can go back and just simply experience the beach and the island and coconut trees and palm trees. So yeah, really hard question to answer, right? Interesting though. Let me think more about that. Great question though, Glenn. Appreciate that. What are the pitfalls of buying a used car? Well, I think it's like anywhere. Is it been maintained? Is it reliable? I can tell you this: Japanese cars are the way to go here in the Philippines, simply because of their cost. They're a lot cheaper than your American or any other foreign cars, and parts and service. You have so many more options if you buy Honda, Toyota, or actually Suzuki. Those three manufacturers are probably your best bet. Nissan also for cars here in the Philippines. Better parts, available service, and that kind of deal. I would avoid other manufacturers. As I've been told, they're just so much easier to get work done on them. Glenn, if you could move to a more quieter part of the city, would you, or do you prefer IT Park to being in the heart of Cebu? Yeah, so I'm in the business park, Glenn, which is very similar, very close. They're about maybe 20 minutes apart from each other, a 10-minute cab ride, less than that with no traffic. So I don't know, man, Glenn, because it's the same kind of deal. So when we just did our trip to Mobile and Oslo, we love that kind of stuff. We love being out, but then we love being back in the city and just walking across the street and going to a movie. And we went and saw What the Creator, walked across the street and saw the movie. So I do like that aspect of being here. But I also loved like being in Komodos and being away from that and watching the sunset on the beach. I love that also. So I like it both. Ideally, I just keep doing what I'm doing, where I have a base here in the city and then, go out and spend time in some of these other areas. So I like both. I really do like both. And as my lease expires in December, it's a real conversation for me as far as what do I want to do next? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? And it's a struggle. I don't know. I like I said, I love it here. I love, walking over to Iowa Mall and just even just walking around or go and get a cup of coffee or, go get lunch and, grocery store. It's incredibly convenient right here for us. As a foreigner, just everything is right there, everything, grocery store, entertainment, eating, dining. But then you go out to like, Komodos Island and hang out there and you're watching these sunsets on the beach and, that's also nice too. So I both. Yeah, it's a struggle. Like I said, it's a conversation that we're currently deep in right now. What's next? Talking about spending a month in Southern Leyte, traveling around. Joe's from Southern Leyte. Maybe spend a month in So Good and travel around those peninsulas again in more detail with the drone and everything else that's there. And we didn't get a chance to go down to the really cool town. What's it called? It means whirlpool in Visaya, Little Juan, I think. Travel around that area and shoot more of that. I mean, so there's just so much to see and do here. It's hard. Yeah, really cool. Good stuff, Glenn. Have you experienced any anxiety feelings leaving the US in your new life in the Philippines? Absolutely, Carlo. The first month was holy crap. What am I doing? There was a lot of that. Even before that, there was a lot of that. And the scouting trip is key in that. Doing a scouting trip. And when you're here every morning, wake up and say, is this a place I could live? Ask yourself that question. Because that'll give you, that sense of, okay. And that helped out a lot. And then just keeping myself busy helped out a ton. Focusing on my exercise, my workout, YouTube, when that started up, I didn't start YouTube right away. I got myself set up with my apartment and all that. But yeah, just keeping myself busy, keeping my mind busy, and exercise and walking were keys. But dude, yeah, it's scary. This is a big move, especially when you do what a lot of us did, which is sell everything and come. That is not easy. It's not. And you're going to a place where you don't know anybody. It's hard. That is not easy. Thankfully, you were moving to a friendly, happy environment. Which, then you start. What'll make it easy is dating and stuff like that. But you got to be careful because you're vulnerable, right? You're a little bit vulnerable being here. You're a new guy on the block. You don't understand a lot of the culture and the people and the dating and the nuances. So you got to be mindful of that. And the scammers know that. So that'll make it easier, honestly, if you have a Filipino, a good Filipino. But yeah, no, it can be spooky, Carlo. I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of what I want to do with this channel too, is find, and not all me. I want people to connect with each other. I want people to find each other here in Cebu, and then and then allow that, right? So allow those friendships and things to kind of grow, and that I want to create that kind of structure for guys coming here to kind of help them with that, because it's hard. Glenn, have you heard about United Airlines new route from San Francisco to Manila? Only 1,200 for the premium economy ticket. Ooh, that's nice. I would avoid a Manila if you can. just because that airport is massive and a little bit of a challenge to navigate. But that's great. I think I paid around 15 or 1600 for just economy. Yeah, that's nice, man. I have not heard about that. Yeah, that's great. I did fly out of through LAX to Taipei and Taipei to Cebu. That's great, Glenn. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. 755, 808. Okay. Guys don't talk much about the value of education in the Philippines. I'd prefer to have a Filipino with a college degree. It's rare to find them. Is that rare to find when it comes to single girls? So Philip, that was some advice I got early on. So a guy sat me down at the pool here at my condo, and we're chit-chatting. He says, Chris, date a girl who's got a college degree. He says it'll save you a ton, because it says a lot about the family. It says a lot about the girl. And you'll find that maybe you have more things in common because you have a more educated person to chat with. So that was the advice that someone gave me early on. But yes, it's important. And look, college education here in the Philippines isn't a scam like it is in the West, right? You have a lot of families who can afford to give their kid that college education, and it's a priority here. You have a lot of college educated people here, a lot. So I think most of the people that are in the mall, working in the mall at these stores have a college degree. So yeah, it's very common. Well, it's not super common, but it's definitely there are a lot of college educated people here, and in the dating scene like that. So yes, you can find that. But you're right. That was one of my criteria. One of the things I was looking for. It wasn't a deal breaker, but that was high on my list as far as what I wanted in a partner. So yeah, good stuff, Glenn. Or Philip, sorry. I wish I could have filmed that bike that got stuck trying to pass between the two cars. Wow, yeah. Thankfully the car stopped in traffic. I was surprised no one got hurt. Yeah, I know. I would have been mad. Yeah, no, there's some accidents. I haven't really seen much of anything here in the city, but it's surprisingly there's not as many accidents as you would think. That was one of the things I was shocked with. I was like, how am I not seeing more accidents, and why don't I see more dead animals, on the road? Because they're laying on the road. But it could happen. That one. Hey Chris, have you seen the Yamaha Tanner 700? Great adventure bike. For both on-road and off-road. I used to actually have that bike. I had the Tanner 700 in Colorado. It's a good bike. It's just for here, it's too heavy. You definitely want something light. You really want something light and agile to get around the city. And it's too off-road. You don't really need something that most of your riding is going to be on road. Honestly, you need something that's more street orientated than dirt. And the Tanner 700, great machine, right? Phenomenal machine. And I owned it. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too much of a bike for here in the Philippines. Yep. Paul in the Philippines, old dog. Dude, you're amazing, man. What's up, brother? Oh, so amazing. Yeah, thanks, Paul, man. Wow. We're gonna be down in the Philippines or in Dumaguete here soon, and we'll let you know. Oh, dude, so cool. Mm. I'm on your lives too, saying hey. Oh wow. I mean, that blows me away, right? Doesn't that blow you guys away? Oh, blows me away. Wow. That egg and the rice. Yeah, man. Yeah. What was that? 50 pesos for a fried egg, 2 fried eggs and rice. I just missing the bacon on that, but yeah. Mm. Blows me away. Yeah, so cool. What an honor meeting you again, sir. I mean, it's just incredible. You watch these guys, and and I told Paul this too. I was like, dude, you changed my life. Your videos, your content changed my life. Just because watching that gave me the tools to move here, and it's amazing. So thank you, sir. I'm blown away by that contribution and you just being here. So thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Wow. Scout out. So shout out all the views here, Filipina. Oh, shout out to all the views here, Filipina from North Carolina. All right, Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful in Charlotte. I think I'd been through there once. I think I've been through Charlotte one time. Yeah, I know, definitely been there a couple times. Beautiful town. Yep. David, the fast ferry will start in November from the yacht club, and new us that will be a game changer for a lot of people. David, I think you're right, man. I think a ferry option, a fast craft from Cebu to Comodos will open up that island a lot. I love that place, man. Love it, love it, love it. Yes. Hello. Hello. Happy Dave. Yes, Dave. I'm loving the DJI Action 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, DJI Action 4. Yeah, I think I know that camera. You can hide the selfie stick like a 360 camera. For years, I've been trying to be a vlogger. I just had the idea of a play a character while I do a travel vlogging. And that's really, dude, that's why I love this camera. Is I really feel like it's not, people don't kind of realize that you're filming. I mean, here you are, you got this out here, you got to extend it out, you can see it, but I don't know, it has this nature of it. Like I can't do a GoPro, like I can't do this kind of deal. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel natural. I don't know, it feels weird to me. But for this camera, huge fan, man. Huge fan. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, and great. I know DJI, I'm a huge fan of their mics. I have their drone too. I think DJI makes a great product. So yeah, really cool. I'm a big fan of DJI as well. DJ, hi. Does Joe ever call you shiny head? No, but she rubs my head sometimes. She calls me Jason. I don't even know who the Jason guy is now. But when I get a little bit of growth, she calls me Jason. Less stress and less reactive than the US. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, it's so less stressful here. I think some of it too, though, honestly, is just my financial freedom and not working. I think that's a big part of it for me. Just focusing on my day-to-day life and what I'm up to. It's really stressful to be in the United States, be in the West. Getting away from, and then let alone turn the TV on. Man, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't do it anymore. There's no way I could do it now, even, just with everything that's going on. It's way too much for me. I was watching this guy, what's that, 3 of 7? He's a Navy SEAL. I don't watch a ton of his content, but some of it showed up on my newsfeed. And he was doing some stuff on anxiety and stress. And one of the comments that I heard him say, which I thought was fascinating, is he talks about this thing about watching, be mindful of your input, like be mindful of what's going into your ears and brain and that kind of deal. Like what are you watching? What are you participating in? It's just so key and critical, I feel, for our well-being. And one of the big things for me, the takeaway of being here in this country, is my input is dramatically different than it was living in the West. I mean, guys, I watch the weather. I go out and travel. I shoot videos on being around this country. I ride my motorcycle. That's my input, right? And just being around phenomenal people, both foreigners and foreigners like myself and locals and Filipinos. I mean, I'm around positive, loving, kind people everywhere all the time. I mean, there's freaking old dogs here, just so everywhere, right? That is so key for us. I mean, just key. And as Westerners and Americans in particular, man, we got to be careful. We got to be careful of that input, that negative input that is just a bombarding way in the West. Man, it's one of the things that's very present to me in the 10 or 11 months now that I've been here. Yeah, really cool. The Philippines does better at going with the flow, yep, and making do with what you have. The Philippine people are amazing, resilient individuals. Yeah. No, I would absolutely, Benny. I'd say you're right on there. Right on. Yep. Thank you so much, Chris, for talking about anxiety. I will lift off in January following your path. Yeah, man. Look me up when you get here, dude. And it is. It's not easy. It is not an easy move. But come check it out. Come look at it, and know, like, for me, I left for the reasons I just talked about. I wanted a less stress environment, and that can be scary, but it is here. It is here, no question. If dating, if you want to find a partner or a wife, I mean, come on, man. No better place on the planet for us men, us Western men. I mean, you're going to be surrounded. I'm always blown away by what I have with Joe. I mean, I had this beautiful, beautiful woman who wants nothing but to love me. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Where are you going to find that? Ah, blows me away. Blows me away. Sorry, guys. Man. Mm, mm. All right. Came with a few questions prepared. Haha. I appreciate the answers, Chris. I got to run down to the gym. Yeah. You too, man. Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Sorry. I need some water. Getting choked up. Good, great questions, though. Just incredible, right? It's incredible. American Airlines is starting to serve from LA to Manila about the 30th of October. Options are going to open up for sure. Hope you enjoy our well. Mark in Dallas. Hey, Mark. Yeah, no, we're great. Little tired, a little wore out from our adventures last night. We stayed up late and watched the movie. Probably see it in my eyes. I'm like, my eyes are all baggy and red. But yeah, Joe's actually still sleeping. But no, we're good here. We had a bug when we were traveling around, but we're back to normal now. We're actually back. We're back in our running, back in our strength training and working out. So yeah, no, things are in track. We're looking at the rest of the year as far as what we want to do. We've got a lease up in December, so we're thinking about next steps and things like that. But yeah, no, things are good. Things are going well. Yeah, that $10 from Paul is gonna cost you. That's one of his new tricks we can do again. Yeah, I know. What an honor, right? I mean, come on. One of the top bloggers here showing up and doing that kind of stuff. It just kind of pulls me away, right? A guy who changed my life in a lot of ways, and so yeah, really cool. It's just incredible, and that just goes to show kind of the community that's here. If we're good people, we bring our hearts with us. We'd be generous with people. That's kind of what you get back, and that's the way of life here. Yeah. Your brain has about 90 billion cells, which work 24/7 from birth. When you turn on, your brain is about 90, which work 24/7 from birth up to the day when you turn on the TV. Yeah, I got you now, man. Yeah. I like some of it, right? I think there's some good stuff input, like YouTube and whatever, right? But yeah, we got to be really mindful of what we're bringing into our brains and into our bodies. Even we have to be very mindful about that, I feel, and just being careful. That's been a big lesson for me as I got here, and I knew about it even before coming out here, but just removing myself completely where I had no option to even participate in any of it has been just huge. Everybody have a good day. I gotta go. Yep, at North Carolina. Yes, sandy beaches. Hope you're good there, man. Yes, the news here. Yeah, and even some of the YouTube is extremely toxic for your brain. It is, Benny. Absolutely, man. It is. Yep. All right, we're almost caught up on comments. I'm gonna drink a little bit here. Got an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. Oops. Dave, Africa is very underrated for dating. Okay, interesting. I found a beautiful young girlfriend very easily in Kenya. Uganda seems friendlier though. Okay. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, so real quick too, guys, if you don't know Dave and I had met several months ago now, and this guy, he's from New York, travels the world, and yeah, really cool. Yeah, and always appreciate your feedback on the places that you've been to. Yeah, just really cool. Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, John. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you steer away from drama. Whole reason why I moved out here, Benny, right? Whole reason why I decided to come here. Doesn't necessarily make sense to to get out here and start it up all over again. Although, you know, some guys have a hard time escaping that, right? That's what they know. And to get out here and to, you know, kind of do what's familiar, which whatever that is, you know. So, well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. What a live, man. Holy mackerel. I had to say it. I had to say the holy mackerel. I'm just, you know, blown away by everybody being here. I'm blown away by the conversation. Just a really good conversation. You know, the people here were showing up and saying hi, and bloggers and everyone. So again, look for the channel memberships coming out. It's going to be really simple. I'm probably just going to have one level, you know, just a way for people to support the channel. Or if you want more behind the scenes kind of stuff, we'll be doing some stuff like that. But really, thanks everyone for being here. Take care. Hope everyone's happy. Hope everyone's healthy. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, take care. Thank you.